Alright folks, so let's have the calorie conversation. I can feel people swelling up with uncomfortability when you bring up the little C word, because when it comes to calories, they're what matter the most. I'm trying to keep my camera in the shadow while I'm walking down through here. Yeah, calories are what matter the most, no matter what diet you're on. This is a subject that a lot of people don't want to talk about, especially if they're dealing with specifics. Specifics as in a certain kind of diet, if they're promoting some kind of specific kind of diet lifestyle. Because the truth is, none of their diets work out where you can eat an abundance of calories and lose weight. You can't just overeat on the calories and expect to lose weight. It's just not possible. And if that hurts your feelings, then you're denying reality. Think about what you eat. Look up the calorie amounts in the food you eat on a daily basis, and I guarantee you, if you're losing weight, you're putting in activity for one thing, kind of like I'm doing now with the walk and talk, to burn off some of those extra calories. For me, that has been a big part of my weight loss throughout this year. Even before the sugar diet, I was fluctuating in weight up and down, but always on a downward trend eventually, just by adding in the walking. So once I reached the sugar diet, I just continued to walk while doing that very specific diet, because it is a very specific diet when you're talking about just fruit juice and sugars such as table sugar, yada yada yada. You get the point. But there were actually some people doing the sugar diet who were exceeding their calorie needs for the day, who were not losing weight. It has been said by some of the metabolic experts out there, like Mike Fave and some of those guys who put in that type of work to bring us the knowledge of how these diets actually work. I mean, they know way more than I do. Can't think of all their names right now. I've been watching some of them here lately. Definitely know Mike Fave's name. It's a good watch if you want to discover, how things work metabolically when it comes to diet and stuff like that. So what guys like that are saying, or what experts like that are saying, is the sugar diet was amplified for people who put in activity, and walking is my thing. I walk at a steady, fast pace. I got my treadmill I walk on in the house when I need to. Always doing some kind of walking. And just a little bit of background about me. Now when I was doing the food reviews and stuff on the channel, I was engaged in a lot of travel that kept me away from walking and stuff so much. But I'm gonna stay back here where it's a little more shady and just complete my walking back here, because steps are steps no matter where you take them. But when I used to work the warehouse, I was a shipping floor lead, and part of my responsibility was to check and load trucks going out off of the shipping docks. You know, people would pull the freight, they would stage it by the dock doors. We'd have to check the numbers, make sure the right product was going out to the right customer. We had multiple warehouses that were connected to each other. Each of them were at least the length of a football field or better. And that's just going in one direction. They also went from end to end down the aisles. So, needless to say, if you're the person they pick to make sure all the freight is accurate going out the door, then you're the one doing all the darn walking. I guarantee you that. And for that reason, I stayed thin. Now that's another story for another day, because I can tell you how my weight was before that and how it turned out to be after that job, because another company bought it out and I wound up with a different responsibility, pulling freight instead of checking and sending it out, because they had they brought in their own staff to do that type of thing. So I just wanted to keep a job and feed the family, so I had all the knowledge I needed to drive and they still made me check out the trucks on the weekends when they weren't there. I got paid a little extra for that, not much. That's why I'm saying the more you know, the more they expect out of you, that's for sure. But yeah, needless to say, when I was doing those orders for those few years, you know, that job, I stayed thin all the time because of all the walking I did. Strange, man. And then when I went to the sit-down forklift, I started picking up weight when they put me to pulling freight, because I was on what do they call them? Heister? Not a heister. Turret lift is what I was driving. You back that thing in there and it would stay on track, you know, an invisible track on the line, an invisible line, an invisible track. That turret lift would stay locked into place, you know, and it had a swivel swinging forks on each end. Well, one swivel swinging fork that you could swing from end to end to pick freight off of each side of the aisle. Those were a newer concept for us when we got those. But needless to say, sitting on that lift doing work on it most of the day did not do my health and weight very much good at all. And I didn't catch it back then. I might as well go ahead and tell you the whole story. I didn't catch on to it back then because just before I got picked up that lead job where I had to do all the walking, I went to a diet doctor and gotten put on a pill called Adipex, or Phetamine or Phentermine or whatever you call it is the other off-name brand if you're not familiar with Adipex. And I thought the Adipex, because it was a hunger suppressor, plus I smoked, that was a big hunger suppressor as well. I could work all day, and when I quit taking the Adipex, because you can't take it all the time, they only let you take it for so long, and they make you quit because they'll start harming you after a while. But while I was doing the job walking, I didn't need it. I continued to keep the weight off. It wasn't until the other company moved in, and we moved into a brand new warehouse for another thing, because they'd done away with all the older warehouses and built a brand new one where all the freight was getting hauled from the old manufacturing facility to the new warehouse where the turret lifts were. So I figured I'll just get on some more Adipex. Well, guess what? Me sitting on that turret lift, the Adipex didn't work as good. It only worked for a little while, curbing the appetite, but because I wasn't putting in the work, the walking and the getting around and stuff, that's how my leg muscles got so strong doing that job for so many, all them years in a row. But with me not doing all that extracurricular walking and stuff like that, the pills weren't they weren't as effective. So after that job played out, most of the manufacturing and stuff went overseas. My wife got into healthcare, and I became the home provider because, let's face it, she was just making too much money. When you're doing healthcare, there's always a need, and you don't have to worry about losing your jobs quite so much. Because there's always a constant need for you. Sorry about that. Someone's pulling up. I was just checking to see who it was up there at my father's house. But yeah, so her and I got to walking, when in between clients and stuff, we'd walk, mostly stores and stuff. That's how I get to walking in Walmart and stuff sometimes, especially if it's real cold and rainy and I don't want to walk in a treadmill and I just want to be able to focus on different things. I'll hit them Walmart aisles. It's a good way to get in steps. My favorite way is out here outside though, and we're really knocking them out now. I started out at 6,000 something just talking to you guys, and now I'm at 8,000 something. Of course, I was already walking before I cut the camera on a little bit too, so there's that. But yeah, when I'm not doing the extra walking, I don't lose as fast. I mean, I guess I could if I went into full-blown calorie restriction where I was only eating like 500 to 1,200 calories a day, but I don't enjoy that. I actually enjoy my time outside, and sometimes I even get to do it like now and make a video. Most times I get these steps in because I'm carrying my 3-pound weights with me and getting a double benefit of the workout at the same time. But not today. I decided to talk to all you guys. Mother's situation is still the same, but she's stabilized for now. So it's still any minute, any day. And that could that can't give you a time frame. It could be any time between now, tomorrow, or 6 more weeks, which it's hard. It's hard because there's been a few times where you swear it's going to be the last time going into this, and then everything kind of turns around a little bit better, is what we've been going through. But I think going through that is going to help us prepare for the end a little better. I mean, it's easier said, like saying it right now, than it is to actually know if that's going to be the case once it finally does happen. But one way or another, it's happening, and it's not fun. It's definitely not fun. I was sick at my stomach yesterday, so I didn't get to do any walking. I only got in 5,000 steps. So what I've learned about the walking, especially now that I got a watch to track it all with. Now, as you see, I'm at 9,000 now. If I hit that 10,000 on a calorie deficit of 1,200 and under, I'll drop weight on the scale. If I try to eat above that, I might maintain on the scale, or maybe even a slight gain sometimes, depending on how much I eat caloric wise. Now, if I go full blown 15 to 20,000 steps, and if I start doing that days in a row, I'll get a consistent weight loss while I'm doing that, kind of putting in that kind of extra activity. So if there is no magic tricks involved, but there is walking. It's not a magic trick. It's a health trick that you can add to your regimen. If you can't do nothing else, you can get out and walk. And the fresh air and the sunshine and all of this, it does you good. It does you good to get out in the sun a little bit. Won't be long. Look at there. For my viewers that's been around a long time, this is the pear tree that had the pears on it in the springtime when we were walking out here. That was before the sugar diet. Before I got a little more famouser than what I am now. Look at there. The leaves are turning yellow and red on this thing. Still got a lot of green on it as well. But people's been around my channel a long time, watched that thing bud out with me and flower and turn into pears. And now the pears are gone and the leaves are changing already. Hear the crows in the distance in the background. But yeah, it's been one heck of a year. One heck of a year. It's been a heck of a 2 years since I started Latchkey Gen X. I've been through some struggles. Been through some struggles since I started this channel. Like I said, in 2022, my wife went through that trouble with her female trouble. We went through that, and we had some health scares with her. You know, her doctor called us on a Saturday and said, if you want to live, get to the hospital and get some blood now. She was a couple of pints of blood low. How she was even walking around, I don't know. But yeah, that was a rough time. We went through some rough stuff in 2022. And I was successfully dieting through all of that. And then, you know, I thought I had it whooped, and and in the fall, you know, when we finally got all of that straightened out, because it was that, then it was the actual surgery, and then it was recovery after the surgery, all kind of stuff. We went through with that, and then no quicker than that was said and done, a lot of things happened with my mother and her declining health. A lot of things. All of a sudden, I became responsible for her in the daytime. And at that time, she was still wanting to go out to eat and stuff. And I basically give up on my diet. I was just done. I said, and I just went through all that with Janice. I just went through all of that. I said, I'm just done. I just wanted to enjoy life, man. I was so disappointed with how things went down with that in the beginning. It still disappoints me to think about it. So I said, man, I'm just gonna go into food reviews, and that's what I did. And this year I see a little breathing room. Wanted to get back into diet. Mama had went down to the point where she was no longer having to be entertained other than at the house. So I was able to get back on my regiment and start pulling the weight loss again, which has all been a part of this year. But I've been through it. And those chains are fixing to be completely off of me, so to speak. Not that that's what I want. It's just what's going to happen. And once that does, I'm going to hit my BMI. It probably won't be this year, but I'm almost to the point where I've put in a year's worth of work into this weight loss here, and I'm not going to blow that like I did in 2022. Nothing's going to stand in my way nothing's going to stand in my way this time, no matter what. God, I hope we don't hit another health crisis behind this one. I worry. My father has bad health. He's got a bad heart. He's got diabetes. So yeah, that's a constant worry of mine. Would be a real struggle. That's my rock. He's the one that's always there for me, no matter what. When I need somebody, he's there. Plus, we got that whole metal detecting channel that we do together that we haven't got it done since Mama's declining health. You hit 10,000 yet? Not yet. I need to speed up, I guess. Talking too much. I still got like 550 steps to go. But yeah, it's all documented on this channel. I mean, I got way too many videos for you to try to catch up to it. I welcome anybody to try. I welcome anybody to try. I think I got more video time than you could probably watch in a year. Probably take you a year to catch up with every one of my videos. I think I got over 1,000 or something on this channel. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. I did a little too much fun at Thanksgiving. Wound up with a little bit of weight gain. Not worried about it. What little bit that I gained, I'll lose that and then some. By the time I get to the end of this year, I would like to be looking at closer to 100 pounds of weight loss for the year, but it's not necessary. As close as I can get would be fine. Would be fine with me. I would like to at least beat my low for 2022, which was 246. I'm in the 260s now. So yeah, that is my main hard focus right now, is to try to get that done, get down as close as I can to that. At least beat it by a pound would be even nice. It's gonna be hard though. We got all the holidays up. I'd be lying to you if I said, well, I'm gonna do good through the holidays, because obviously if Halloween's any indication of how Thanksgiving and Christmas is gonna go, I'd be lucky just to maintain, which maintaining's fine with me. The important thing that I've learned this year, the biggest thing that I've learned, and especially for the sugar diet thing, listening to what Cole had to say, the biggest takeaway that I got from him is to hop back on that horse. You mess up, get back on, keep going. I think that is one of the biggest messages that's kept me going so far. Even through my little stall, my little bit of weight gains here and there, I'm always managed to get it to start going back in the right direction, which is downhill, not uphill. Alright folks, so I'm gonna finish my 10,000 steps and I'm gonna call this a video. Tell me what you think down in the comments. And that is all I got for this one. So until the next time, you folks have a good one.